Hello. I'm now going to talk about The Integrity of Joseph Chambers, 2022. This is a fascinating, if slow-burning, cautionary tale. It felt slow, but I'm pretty sure the pace is intentional. It's all about discomfort. Clayne Crawford plays Joe. He's a family man. He has qualities I like and dislike. I think Joe is very much well-intentioned in what he plans to do, what he does. He tries to justify things, and we hear a lot of his internal monologue because he say things. It is quite an amusing scene. That first scene, Joe is in the bathroom shaving in the early hours, and he keeps saying hell is coming for breakfast. You see his wife, Tess, played by Jordana Brewster. She's very sleepy. She discourages him from going. She's very tired. He's very determined. He definitely wants to do what he's got planned that day. So he's got this moustache which Tess doesn't particularly like. He claims it's his new hunting look, and I suppose that might be why I was thinking of Matt Dillon. I was thinking about something about Mary from all those years ago. Maybe that's unfair. He sets off on his trip, and en route to what is called the property, that's the area of hunting ground, private property, he calls in on his friend Doug, played by Carl Kennedy. He picks up a gun. Doug is unwell and actually emphasises that if he was willing to wait a week, he'd take him quite happily on a hunt to show him the ropes because he's got experience. And Joe doesn't. Oh boy, how he might regret not taking up that advice and waiting just 1 week. Oh gosh. So I suppose Joe is the type of chap who's well-meaning, but he pushes himself. He gets an idea and he wants to put it into action. He thinks the world is falling apart and he wants to be self-sufficient for when the proverbial hits the fan. I know friends who have an interest in prepping. It's serious stuff, trying to survive after any sort of apocalyptic situation. It would be really difficult. There's uncertainty, a lot of unrest in the world, geopolitical battles, there's a shortage of resources, wars, climate change. Add AI and technological advances into the mix. Who knows what the years ahead hold. So I do understand Joe's motivation for wanting to learn how to hunt. He just goes about it the wrong way. We've seen how quickly this shelves emptied when the coronavirus pandemic started to bite. Within a few days, the supermarket shelves were cleared out. There are people who are very well prepared, learning how to be self-sufficient. In this story, there's an encounter with the lone wolf, who is played by Michael Redmond James, living the type of life that Joseph Chambers envisages. When Joe arrives at this woodland, he sets off out across the large area of wilderness, the thickets, the undergrowth, with his gun, and he occasionally lets rip with a song from a musical, I think. Then he spots a deer and he fires towards it. He tries to track it down, and what happens next doesn't appear in the trailer, so I won't talk about it, but the things that do happen are likely to have lasting consequences. As it was unfolding, I could imagine several of them. I'm not going to say which of these things actually happens, but you get to see, since Joe talks a lot to himself, you get to see his thought processes. So it isn't a voiceover, it's him actually saying. You see him panicking, you see him trying to redress the problem that he's just created. And it's painful because it's filmed in what feels like real time. There's plenty of time to think about how uncomfortable it would be to be in Joe's shoes. And yet he thinks quite a lot and he projects into the future, and that might be, well, it certainly is a positive element compared to the first actions. Oh gosh, if something really awful happens, you do have choices on how you respond, and how Joseph responds is up for question. That's why the title of this film is The Integrity of Joe Chambers, whether Joe has integrity or not. It's a very thought-provoking film. I I thought it was really interesting the way it was done. I'd score it 7.5. No, I think I might give it 8 out of 10. A really worthwhile watch. It's definitely worth watching if you have any ideas about becoming self-sufficient, especially in this particular way of hunting wild animals. I'd find that difficult, I suppose because I've been eating vegetarian food for so long. It piques my interest in survival matters and prepping. That is worth thinking about a lot, considering how to reduce our environmental impact so that we don't exacerbate the crisis we're already in. That would be a good start. Some people think it's too late. I'm still hanging on to hope that we can continue with civilization, that we actually do pull back before the brink. This is a global situation. It's not just any particular country. We're all on Spaceship Earth, all part of the global village. So we need to look after each other. Hence my point in the last video about compassion. So yeah, really interesting. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and hit the like button if you like this video. Thank you. Bye for now.